Hey you guys, it is your girl Kivi all up in the building, all up on your screen. And today we are going to talk about the Woman King review. First of all, I don't feel like I look moisturized enough for this review because, child, if you've seen the video, with spoiler alerts will be given in this video. So if you have not seen the movie yet, child, please postpone your view. But press the like button before you go. All right, listen, I'm not oiling up enough because them girls, the way they had their melanin shining in the night. Child, this is all you saw, my dear. This is how they looked. We finna be glistening for the rest of this video because I can't be on here being a crunchy, crusty, hot mess on here when they was giving all that melanin and shining in the moonlight. Okay, so we're gonna be properly hydrated for this video. Look at my neck, y'all. What's wrong with your daughter, Mom? What's wrong with her? Child, listen, this is how they look in the movie, though. They break it down to let you know why. Because pretty much, if you got a knuck, if you buck boy, you want to be greasy. So them punches can slide off. Somebody try to grab you. You can swiggle away like a little fish real quick. So, listen, they was greased up, baby. Oiled up. Ready to go. Ready for the battle. All right, ready for the battle. First things first, I saw this movie twice. And no lie, I actually really like it, okay? Now, would I buy it? Maybe, just maybe not. Okay, maybe not. People talk about this is like Black Panther. People was worried about, is this like Black Panther? Let me tell you now, sis, sir, absolutely not. Okay, so don't go in a movie theater feeling like you about to come out like you did Black Panther, because to me personally, you absolutely don't. Just go in with the mindset of entertainment. Okay, with entertainment of seeing some bad chicks kick some butt, because they was kicking it, honey. They was kicking it. They was stabbing it. They was jabbing it in the face. They was knocking folks out. All right, they was doing the do. Okay, they was doing the do. They did a really great job. All of the actors, the costumes, the visuals, the storyline, it was really good. I definitely have to say that. You know, Viola Davis came in and did that thing, child. She came in and did that thing. She made me want to go to the gym. Like, I'm trying to get fit because she was just... How old is she? She like 50, 60 years old. And she looking that good. Girl, black don't crack well. All over you, sis. All over you, sis. I think they did a fabulous job. I will say, there's some parts that'll get to you, okay? This video play on your emotions, definitely, okay? There are some shock values to this movie. There's some times when you're gonna want to cry. I feel like there's times where you smile, you get down, because, y'all, they be dancing routines. I get a little confused, though, because, listen, y'all, I wasn't expecting the dance routines to be so on a regular occurrence, but it was like every 45 minutes you was getting a little... You was getting a little dance routine, but I was here for it. They was turning up. They was kicking butt and having fun at the same time. Listen, there's no other way to live. There's no other way to live, okay? So basically the storyline pretty much is talking about a kingdom, the, what is it called? The homies? You're gonna see me look down, because listen, these names and pronunciations, baby. Listen, I am not no African American studies, so listen, don't expect me to know how to say the stuff properly, all right? Just viewers, just advice, okay? My neck, the way I'm shining. But y'all, so the storyline is pretty much about the Dahomey, and the Dahomey is a kingdom that is, it's before slavery with Europeans take place. So they're pretty much talking about before European slave trade. Let's just get it out in the open, because a lot of people didn't want to see this video because of the fact that it is talking about a tribe of people that used to, or a kingdom of people that used to sell slaves. Okay, they were a part of the slave trade. Okay, they started it off. Okay, black folks were selling black folks. It is what it is, okay? But they did end up talking about down in the storyline later on how they wanted to stop, which my thing is this. None of us know the true story of how it really got started or why it stopped. We only know what we can try to kind of put together, okay? Just keep that in mind. I'm no history teacher or anything like that. I did take a couple of college classes, but nobody really knows the detail. Nobody was there bring it back to us now. Okay, nobody will know the full story. However, they do end up talking about later on in the video how they want to stop doing the slave trade, how they wanted to stop selling their brothers and sisters, and start selling other things to get rich and to make money off of. So we'll just talk about that because people really were not feeling this movie because they're saying that these warriors didn't really live long and that this whole story is just not a good look. Go into it with the mind of not necessarily educational purposes or historical facts, but just go into it with the idea of entertainment, which some people might still see that as a bad thing, which I totally understand. However, listen, aside of that, they did a really good job. The acting was good. The outfits were impeccable, okay? They had the king, what is his name? Genzo? The King Genzo, they had him dressed to the T, honey. He was linen, and I don't know what type of king he was, because he didn't look like he was doing much, but just like trying to enforce laws, but without coming up with any ideas of his own per se. So, child, listen, and his wife was a hot mess. Shantae, why did y'all give him a wife named Shantae? I really want to know if that's his real wife. If his real wife was named Shantae, because Shantae was sounding just like the mess her name was sounding. Okay, not the listen. Don't come for me, Shantae's. Okay, but she was a hot mess, sis. She was a hot mess, and she was jealous of the lead character, which is Naniska. Naniska is Viola Davis's part, the warrior leader of the pack, pretty much. She was the one that decides when the battle started and things like that. So, child. It was a long movie, though. I will say that. It was 2 hours long. However, they knew how to keep the action scenes rolling to where you didn't feel like it was 2 hours long, okay? It was like action, quiet, dance, action, quiet, dance. You know what I mean? So it balances out. So there was never a time when I actually looked at my phone and was like, oh, what time is it? Because I felt like they kept our attention really, really well. It starts off as immediately into battle immediately with the fight of them trying to get back some servants, some prisoners, some slaves that they had, them trying to get them back from another tribe. Thus the tribe ends up being pretty much the only tribe they have beef with the whole video. And they was kicking butt. Okay, kicking butt and taking numbers. They end up showing the process of them getting trained, and then there is a little interesting storyline. I feel like there were two storylines here. The first storyline was them fighting battle for their rights to be able to do what they want to do with the people that they have, and to kind of put an end to the slave trade if they wanted to, and get rid of the threats of people who were trying to take their people. Like, listen, it's a lot to it. I feel like the storyline was kind of rushed. Like, you would literally have to really focus in on that part to understand what the real storyline is. It was mostly entertainment, now that I think about it, because I can't really give you a legit storyline per se about the movie. But I mean, outside of them fighting, the second storyline would be about Naniska and her past, pretty much coming back to hunt her. She ended up getting captured, I guess, in the past, and that tribe came back to try her again, pretty much. And then, it's a lot to talk about. I feel like it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. But I thought the story was good. I thought the movie was good ultimately, but it was just a couple drama scenes here because Nanishka ended up finding out a girl named Naui who ended up coming into the camp after she decided she didn't want to, be a traditional wife and all this other stuff, or be with a man that beats her and marries him and be working for him and stuff. So her father pretty much just gave her to the kingdom, and she ended up becoming a part of the warrior team. And then to find out that ended up being Naniska's daughter. And they found out because she had a mark on her back and she had put a tooth in her back and said, "Ja!" The fact that this girl was walking around with a tooth in her back that her mama had planted in her, because when you're a part of the tribe, one of the rules is that you can't be in love and you can't start a family. Your whole focus is the sisterhood and of war. So when Aniska was captured, she was raped many times, and she ended up getting pregnant based off of the rape. So she ended up having her child, keeping it in secret, having it, and then they ended up giving it away to someone, and she ended up being an orphan. And somehow, baby girl found her way back to the kingdom and back to Naniska, and that was just the whole thing. That was the whole thing. Okay, that was very interesting to see. All right. But listen, them girls in that video, absolutely fabulous. I loved Amenza. Amenza was a tall one and she was super skinny and she was absolutely beautiful. I want to see her on the runway, but she was kicking butt, okay? She was going down the alley, knocking people out with chains. She was coming forward, okay? And then we have Oziggy. Oziggy will break your heart, okay? First of all, spoiler alert, she was a great friend to Naui when she first came in, and she was pretty much under her, training her, welcoming her under her wing and stuff like that. And sadly, before the end of the movie, she does end up dying at the hands of her captors. And yeah, it was heartbreaking to watch. It was really detrimentally heartbreaking to watch. It was just as bad. Seeing her die was like watching Chloe off of Set It Off die. Like, it took you there. Okay? You wanted to cry. When I say my face was just like, I couldn't cry, but like, she wasn't supposed to die. Like, even to this point, I'm like, she wasn't supposed to die. She was such a bad, but listen, like, she had her nail game. She would be poking out folks' eyeballs. Like, she was a beast, okay? She was a beast. And the fact that she took Naui under her wing when she was still, learning the ways, it was just crazy. And Naui was kind of a whole mess child. She kind of reminded you of Nick Cannon off a Drumline. They always want to do their own thing. They always feel like they prepared for something better. Listen, you ain't even learned the basics, sis. Sis hadn't learned the basics yet. She was already trying to get a award. Not a award, but a sword. She was trying to get some real stuff. They like, sis, you need to learn the baby tools first because you ain't got it yet. You ain't got it. She was always trying to show off. I don't know why, but she always felt the need to prove herself, especially to Naniska, which at that time she just thought was the leader of the pack, who actually ended up being her mom, which is crazy. But yeah, she was doing some stuff, child. But she was always worried about her friends. She always wanted to help them through the missions and through the trials and stuff, and always make sure that they were surviving. Like, she was a dope chick. I will have to say that. Like, she could kiss some butt, but she also wanted to make sure that her tribe was straight. She wanted to make sure that her sisters was coming home with her. And if not, listen, she was trying to figure out plans and ways. And listen, she was just down for the cause, okay? Down for the cause. And I think she was absolutely amazing. So, listen. But I will say this. Baby girl had to get a little taste of the little action that was going on. I will say that. Because Malik, Chad. In the story, there are some, what do they call? I guess they'll call them captives or captors or whatever. It is typically the white European people that come in and buy the slaves. So they had decided to come in on a boat, and they brought a gentleman with them that was of mixed race, okay? And his mother was from the Dahomey tribe, and or Dahomey kingdom, whatever you want to call it. And he was also half white, but he was living with his half white father in England or wherever they were from. So, child, listen, this nice looking yellow boy got off that boat with that long lace front of curls. Listen, first of all, he was looking good. He had the audacity. They kept trying to show him, excuse me, with his shirt off, with his muscles. He worked out for this video. He worked out. Listen, I don't blame Naui for what she did. I don't blame Naui at all. But she ended up meeting this guy, and he actually ended up helping the tribe a lot because he gave information to them, pretty much telling them how there were other tribes coming together to attack them. And so they ended up attacking their tribe before the tribe that was trying to come together got a chance to attack them. So, y'all, listen, he was a big help. I will say that. He ended up buying Naui because they ended up getting captured. Naui and Azogi, they ended up getting captured, and that's when Azogi died, sadly. But he ended up buying Naui because he had a thing for her. He had a thing for her. They met in the jungle, y'all. They met in the jungle, and it was just pretty much gone for there. They was hooked. She was looking at that man like that was the first piece of meat she ever seen in her life that was worth looking at. And listen, like I said, I don't blame her at all. I don't blame her at all, you are. But I tell you what, when they was getting prepared for that last battle, after he so-called bought her, pretty much, he did buy her. After he bought her, and they had their little moment, and it was time for the war, yo, I was not expecting to see baby girl come out like this with the sheets on from the bed because she done really gave him some. she gave him some. She came out when the war broke out, the very last war broke out. She hopped out of the window to see what was going on, and she was just like, what's going on? I was just in there having a good time with my man, with Malik. What y'all here doing? I can't have a moment's rest. I can't have a moment's rest. I was like, girl, if you don't put your clothes on. Yeah. They played too much for that. They just had to put a little sex scene in. But I'm glad that they did it tastefully. We didn't have to see anything. Listen, but you knew it happened because she came out with that dang on with that dang on towel, that dang on them sheets wrapped around. And he coming around here with his pants all half done. Like, child, listen, it's a no for me. I mean, it's not a no for me because listen, time and opportunity. I guess he was looking good though, girl. You did pretty good for your first time. Y'all, I hot mess. But listen, it was a good story. I will say that, okay? I loved the only thing I wish is that when it came to the Black Panther, it was very colorful, okay? I don't know if it's because like this was really focused on the depths of war and these warriors really looking tough and stuff, and they didn't want it to look like Black Panther, beautiful, spectacular, all these beautiful colors and stuff. So they didn't go that route. Y'all, it is a gnat that's about to get knocked out. Look, if you buck boy. Child, it's trying to attack me while I'm trying to talk to y'all. It be the fruit flies for me that be randomly popping up. But y'all, yes, so that really just took my thought away. That's just the rudeness for me. It wasn't as colorful. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't as colorful as Black Panther. So don't go in there thinking you're gonna see vibrant colors. It's very like muddy colorways and stuff, like very dark. But it just puts you in the mindset of war. It gets you prepared for what's about to happen next because you know something about to go down. And it does go down. And them girls be fighting. Okay? They be fighting their butts off. And they be going through the little tests and everything else. Child, listen. It made me want to join for a little bit. No lie, no lie. I feel like I probably would have joined something like that back in the day. I I definitely probably would have, or at least tried to. They probably would have kicked me out, but I would have tried to. But overall, I think it was a good movie. I think it was worth seeing. I mean, is it worth seeing twice? It depends on you. Me personally, I wanted to support the video and the movie, and I really wanted to make sure that I saw the ins and outs of it. Listen, I could talk about an hour about the details of this movie, but I feel like I'm not explaining it the way I want to explain it. So y'all just, it's feeling like a story time. Go see the movie, sis, sir. Go see the movie. Listen, take all that. Oh, it's gonna be like Black Panther. No, go get that out of your head, because Black Panther is coming out in November, sis. This is the Woman King. Okay? That's what this is. But honestly, I think it was pretty good. Do I think the storyline could have been a little cleaner? Yes. Because the fact that the overall reason of the war and all that wasn't necessarily thoroughly explained, it does cause a little, confusion, especially when trying to explain it like this, trying to review it, like, unless you're like a historical person and you can really give you the ins and outs. It's only because I did take a class that I knew a little bits and pieces about what was going on. But being somebody who, didn't have any idea what was happening, the movie may be a little bit confusing as to why they are fighting. That's what it is. The other storyline, it makes sense, okay? You'll see it as it plays out. But ultimately, you might be like, okay, so why are they fighting? So I think that's something they should have worked on maybe a little bit better. But outside of that, it's a good movie. I'm here for it. Absolutely here for it. Should there be a second one? I don't think so. I think we should just make this a one and done. I feel like this isn't a franchise type of video, okay? Listen, she slept with Malik and all that, but listen, y'all don't need to make another baby that's gonna be a warrior, and we ain't gotta do all that. We can just make this a one and done. But I will give it. I don't know if I rated it before or not. Have I rated it already? So I don't know. But if I haven't, I will say that I would give it like an 8.5. I give it 8.5 because I saw it twice and I wasn't bored either time, and I didn't feel like, oh, here I go watching it again. I was still intrigued. So yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna stop here because this is long, and I feel like I didn't review it the way I wanted to review it. Because in my head I thought it would sound better, but that's the way it sounded. Hopefully hopefully you get the gist of it. Hopefully what I said, what I talked about today inspires you enough to go see the movie yourself. And then let me know how you feel about it. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.